Welcome to lecture 3 on module 2 of 8051 microcontroller, in which we will be discussing about the arithmetic instructions. In this slide, we will be discussing about add instruction whose mnemonic is ADD. In case of 8051 microcontroller, we have two types of add instructions. One is ADD and ADC. In this particular slide, we will be discussing only about add. So here, the syntax for add instruction is add a comma source. So add a comma source. So what it does is it will add the content of accumulator plus source and load the result back to accumulator. So what happens is the accumulator content will be restored. Whenever we use add instruction, if we want the content of accumulator to be preserved for the next iterations or next operations, then we need to make sure that the content that is present in the accumulator has to be stored before using the add instruction, else this original data of accumulator will be lost. One important thing that we need to note whenever we are using the add instruction is that one of the operand or the destination operand in particular is always a register A. Always you can add the content of source with a register only. The source operand can be a register, immediate data, or in memory. You can use any sort of addressing like register addressing, immediate addressing mode, or indirect addressing mode. So in case of add instruction, one limitation is that you cannot use add 40h comma 50h. This is not allowed. Always you can have add a comma 40h or add a comma r0 to r7. I will write it as ri, that I ranges from 0 to 7, or you can have add a comma at r0 or any other immediate, add a comma hash 20h, and so on. All these instructions are valid except add 40h comma 50h. By looking at all these instructions, one thing is clear, that the destination register should always be an accumulator. So we will look into some of the examples here. Here in this particular example, we are going to add the content of accumulator with that of immediate value, that is 0bh. So before that, we need to load the value to the accumulator, that is 05h. So we are going to add f5h plus 0bh. Here f5 can be written in binary as 1111 0101 and 0b as 0001011. What happens is, when you add these two numbers, you will get the result as 100000. The content of accumulator will be 0. The content of accumulator will be 0, but there is one carry that is taking place from the D7 bit to D8 bit. That means in the PSW, carry flag will be set to 1. The carry flag will be set to 1, since there is a carry out from D7 bit to D8 bit. This starts from D0 to D7. If there is a carry from D7 to D8, then the carry bit in the PSW register will be set to 1. Similarly, here in this result, that is the content of accumulator, the number of ones is 0. The number of ones is 0. So the parity flag in the PSW register will also be set to 1. And also here, since there is a carry from D3 bit to D4 bit, there is a carry from D3 bit to D4 bit. There is the auxiliary carry bit present, auxiliary carry flag that is present in the PSW will also be set to 1. This is how the add instruction affects the flag. It affects the carry flag, it affects the parity flag, as well as it affects the auxiliary carry flag. In this particular slide, we will be discussing about an add instruction where it is ADDC, that is add with carry. See, when we are adding two 16-bit operands, see, in our previous example we said that there is a carry from D7 to D8. Similarly, this happens in case of 8-bit. Similarly, if we are going to add see here in this example, if we are adding a 2 or a 16-bit number or a 2 8-bit numbers, there is a carry from D7 to D8. Let us assume there is a carry from D7 to D8 as in the previous case. So in that case, whenever you are adding the second byte or upper byte, what we call here, in this case E7 and 8B are called as lower byte, and 3C and 3B are called as higher byte. If I give you an example, if I add 9 and 9, the answer what we get is 18, and there will be one carry. If you again have 9 and 8 here, or 9 and 9, now when you add these two numbers, you will also add this as well. The same thing has to be considered while you add here, or in this is for just for understanding sake. Same thing happens here. Your registers that are present in 8051 are capable of holding a 8-bit information. That means a maximum number a register can hold is of 8-bit in size. That is 00 to FF it can hold. But when you, this is of 8-bit in size. If you have a data, if you want to add a data, for example, of 16-bit, see in this case 3C and E7. 3C, E7 is a 16-bit number. Similarly, 3B and 8D is also 16-bit number. Now when you add these two numbers, E7 and 8D, if you add E7 and 8D, the answer what you get is 174. 174. This 1 is a carry and 74 will be present in accumulator. Now when you add it for second time, when you add this higher byte, that is 3C and 3B, when you add it independently, the result what you get is 77. 77. The sum what you get, if you are using the normal add operation, if you are using the normal ADD instruction, the result what you get is 7774, which is actually wrong because you have not considered the carry. In order to consider that carry, we are going to use the ADDC instruction. The speciality of ADDC instruction is that it adds the content of accumulator with source along with carry. So what you are supposed to do is, when the carry is 1, if the carry is 1, it will add A plus SRC plus 1. If carry is 0, then A plus SRC plus 0. Okay, now we will get back to the previous example. The same example here. In that case, See, first when you use the add instruction, when you use add for first, that is a comma, let me take R naught. Consider that a has the value E7 and R naught has the value 8D. When you add this, the result what you get is 174. 174. Next add operation, however you need to save this, the result what you get in the accumulator, you need to save it. Next you need to load a equal to 3c and r naught equal to 3b, and you need to use the instruction addc, a comma r naught. What it does is it will add 3c, it will add the upper byte 3c plus 3b plus 1, because there is one carry that is generated during the lower byte operation. The answer that is generated during the lower byte addition is 174. This 1 is a carry. So you need to consider that carry when you add two numbers in the higher byte. So the result becomes 78 and the previous result, that is 74. So the actual result is 7874. If you are using the normal add operation in both the cases, then your result will be 7774, which is wrong. The same problem is represented in the form of program here. First we are going to clear the carry, because we are going to consider it if by some miscalculation, if the carry is already set, it will give us wrong result here. So for safer side, we will be clearing the carry first, then we need to add the lower byte first, that is E7 and 8D. For that we will be moving a comma hash 0E7, that is immediate value. This 0, always when you represent a hexadecimal number that is alphabet, then it should be preceded by 0. For example, if you are writing AB, hash AB, it will give you error, so you need to start it with 0, because your compiler gets confused with the character and the data. So that safer thing you need to do always. When the number is an alphabet, then it has to be preceded by 0. Next you perform the operation of add a comma hash 8D. What happens is 8D and 0E7 will be added, and next move RC comma R6 comma A. The content, that is 174, what we get the result out of that, this 74 is stored in R6 register. Next move a comma 3ch, that is higher byte, and move a comma hash 3bh, that is this value. Then add with carry a comma 3bh. The result is stored in R7. Now the result will be present in R6 and R7, that is 74 and 78. In this particular slide, we will be discussing about decimal adjust for addition. This is the instruction DA after addition. This has to be used after the addition, as mentioned here. Always it has to be written like this. Now, what is the purpose of using this DAA? See, this is used when you add two BCD numbers. Now, what is BCD number? Binary coded decimal. The range of BCD numbers ranges from 0 to 9. And unlike the hexadecimal, that is 0 to F, the range of BCD is 0 to 9. In order to understand it better, we will take one example of adding two numbers. Let us take the number as move a comma hash 17h, and the other number as move or we will directly use the add instruction, add a comma hash 28h. So both are the numbers, both the numbers what we have used here are BCD numbers. So after adding this, the content of accumulator will be 0011 1111 in binary. 0011, that is nothing but 3FH. But when we add two BCD numbers, we may get a non-BCD number. In order to avoid that, if the lower nibble goes beyond 9, then we need to add 6 to that. That is 3F plus 6. When you add F plus 6, it becomes 5. 1 carry, it becomes 45. So when you add these two numbers, the result is 45. Even though the data is in hexadecimal H, represented in hexadecimal, the result will be 45 in BCD. When you add two BCD numbers, the result should be BCD. But in order to do this, in order to perform this operation, it is a Herculean task. Even if you have the higher bit as F, then you need to add that with 6 to convert it into BCD. So in order to avoid that, or in order to ease the process of doing this, we have the instruction that is decimal adjust after addition. What it does is it automatically converts, it checks for the values that are present in accumulator. If it is a non-BCD number, it will convert directly into a BCD number. That is, if you use add a comma hash 28, after this, if you use the DA instruction, the result what you will have in accumulator is 45 instead of 3F what we had in the previous case. This is what the decimal adjust after addition does. It automatically converts a non-BCD number. When you add two BCD numbers, if you get a non-BCD number, the decimal adjust after accumulator instruction or after addition instruction will automatically convert a non-BCD number in the form of result in accumulator into a BCD result. So if we consider one more number that is present here in the example, that is A, 47H. A will have 47H and B will have 25H. Both are BCD numbers. 47 and 25 are both are BCD numbers. When we add these two numbers, we will get 72H when we execute this program. But if we do it manually, the result what we get is 4725. The result what we get is a non-BCD number, that is 6CH. 6CH we get. So this C has to be converted to BCD number just by adding 6. So the result what we get is 72H when we do a manual computation. But this, since the accumulator, since the add instruction is associated with the decimal adjust after addition, it automatically converts the result, that is 6C, that is present in accumulator after add A comma B. After add A comma B, your result will be 6C. Your result will be 6C, which is a non-BCD number. So after DA instruction is executed, the result will be automatically 72H, which is a BCD number. So the main takeaway from this is that a DA instruction, decimal adjust for addition instruction, is the one that converts a non-BCD result that is generated when you add two BCD numbers will be converted into a BCD number itself. In this slide, we will be discussing about the subtraction of unsigned numbers. In order to have a subtraction of two numbers, we have an instruction that is SUBB is a mnemonic a comma source. Same as addition, one of the operands should be accumulator in case of subtraction as well. Here we don't have two instructions like SUB and SUBB. We always have an instruction SUBB, that is if it is you need to execute it, then the accumulator, the content of accumulator after subtraction will be a minus source minus carry. So always before performing any subtraction operation, the carry has to be cleared to 0. So that is what done in this example, clear carry. Next, move a comma hash 62h, subtract a comma hash 96h. So here 62h minus 96h, 62h minus 96h, that is CCH with carry equal to 1. Let us consider this example where 4c minus 6c equal to minus 22. So here 4c is 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 and 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 is 6e. Since it is minus, we need to take the 2's complement of this number. So the 2's complement is 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 and 2's complement of 6e is 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0. Then you need to add these two. You need to add these two. When you add, you will get 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 with the carry equal to 0. Then you need to invert the carry. Invert the carry. Since the carry is 0 here, you need to make it 1. When the carry is inverted, if the carry is 0, if the carry is 0, the result is positive. If carry is 1, the result is negative. In this case, the carry is 1, so the result is negative. So it is minus, and the result what you have, the destination has the 2's complement of the result. This result will be the 2's complement in the form of 2's complement. So if we take this example here, the result what we get is, in the result what we get in the accumulator is the 2's complement. So it is 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0. So you need to complement this first, that is 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 and add it with 1. The result what you get is 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 0. That is 22h, and the symbol, since the carry bit is 1, the symbol is negative, that is minus 22h. This flow is shown in this program here. You need to clear the carry, move a comma 4ch, subtract a comma 6ch, jump if no carry. If there is no carry, if there is no carry, if the carry is 0, the result is positive. The same result can be moved to some register R1. If there is carry, the result is negative, and the destination value, that is accumulator, after subtraction, the accumulator, if the carry is 1, the accumulator will have the 2's complement number. So in order to, you need to convert that 2's complement number by complementing A, 1's complement. You will take 1's complement as I did it here, then add it with 1, increment A. Increment A means add it with 1, you will get the value of accumulator as 22h. So then move that content to R1. This process this process of complementing accumulator and incrementing it by 1 is to be done only when the carry is 1, only when the carry is 1. So we have the instruction jump on no carry. If there is no carry, the load the content that is present in accumulator directly into the destination or some register. Else you need to complement it and increment the value. You need to the result is in 2's complement. You need to convert it into the original value and then load it into the R1 register. Let us consider one more example of subtracting 2762H minus 1296H. In this case, we need to subtract 62 by 96. Then the result will be CCH with the carry equal to 1. With carry equal to 1 means carry equal to 1 means there is a borrow, because 62H is a smaller number and 96 is a larger number. There will be a borrow when you subtract 96 from 62. So there is a borrow that is generated from the higher byte. So you need to load that result to some register. Next, move a comma next value, that is 27 has to be loaded into the accumulator. Subtract 27 by 12. Now here, since there is a borrow that is being given, you need to subtract that one as well from 27H. So 27H minus 12 minus 1. So the result is 14H. So the total result is 14 and CC. This is the result that will be present in the registers R6 and R7. In this slide, we will be discussing about multiplication of unsigned numbers. 8051 supports byte by byte multiplication only. That means here A will have 1 byte and B will have 1 byte. The registers that we use here in case of multiplication is A and B. So if after multiplication of see why we are going to multiply byte by byte means, for example, when you multiply 2 bytes, that is 8 byte into 8 byte, the result what we may get is of 16 byte. So the results are stored in A and B register. The results are stored in A and B registers. A will hold the lower byte, lower 8 byte. A will have the lower 8 byte. Upper byte will be stored in the B register. For example, if you use move A comma hash 25 and move B comma 65, the result what you get after multiplying 25 by 65 in hexadecimal is that E99. So this 99 will be present in accumulator and 0E will be present in B register. So it is possible to store the entire 16-bit result using the two registers A and B. Here in this slide we will be discussing about the division of unsigned number. Same as multiplication, here we have both A and B registers that are involved in the division operation. So for example, if you have the instruction move A comma hash 95 and move B comma hash 10, that is 95 divided by 10. When you divide 95 by 10, the quotient will be 9. For example, 95, and if I take 10 here, then 9 will be the quotient and 5 will be the remainder. So this 9 will be stored in the A register and this 5 will be stored in the B register. This is the B register will have remainder and A register will have quotient. Same as multiplication. 8051 supports only byte by byte over byte division. Means the maximum size of data that you can divide is of 8-bit number. Same as multiplication. Even in case of multiplication, you can multiply two 8-bit numbers. You cannot multiply a 16-bit number using an 8051 instruction set. The 8051 instruction set supports only 8-bit multiplication and 8-bit division. By this, we will come to the end of this particular lecture. Thank you.